Mr. Marasco, may I please have a roll call?
Yes, you may. Mr. Camera, not present. Mrs. Denoy.
Here.
Mrs. Dillon, not present. Mrs. Dimes.
Here.
Mr. Arrico. Here. Mrs. Ramirez.
Here.
Participating remotely. Mr. Rignetta. Here. Mrs. Volpe. Here. Mr. Wall. Here. You have a quorum.
Wonderful, thank you. So pursuant to the pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, this meeting has been duly advertised in Asbury Park Press in a schedule of meetings dated January 11th, 2024, and June 8th, 2024, notice of which has been filed with the Deputy Clerk for Colts Neck Township, and the requirements of posting for notices have been met. May I please ask everyone to stand for the flag salute? Allegiance to the flag, States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. All right, moving right along. We have no approval of minutes tonight, so that's one less thing on our agenda. Tonight we have a wonderful meeting ahead of us. And so for the presentation portion of our meeting, I'd like to hand everything over to our Superintendent, Mary Jane Garibay.
Thank you, Mrs. Ramirez.
Tonight is a great night. Tonight, before we do everything, I would recognize and celebrate members of our tribute members of our school community. The first group of people that we'd like to recognize this evening is some of our students from Cedar Drive Middle School. So to introduce that program, I'd like to introduce the principal of Cedar Drive Middle School,
Thank you very much, Dr. Garibay. Thank you for the members for having some time and allocating time to celebrate some of our students and before we begin, just a quick, our end of the year and their families here, some alumni here, so just like you said, what a great time. The first presentation we have three. The first presentation, I'd like to call up our veteran teacher at Cedar Drive has been our national prevention for the last 2 years. We talk about someone that really gets the most out of students in every way, and a passionate educator, knowledgeable, caring, but always has kids back, and always is an advocate for things, and they know. So we've been bustling with people from minutes that the school starts to the end of the day, someone who's really proud of us here, and so I'd like to introduce Coach Lillian.
First place certificate, and she gets also the honor roll of distinction because she scored in the top 1% on that. Okay, so that's called the AFC 8, because that is for anybody in 8th grade or lower. So the questions can be anywhere from K to 8. Okay. So because we did so well on this AMC exam last year, we also qualified for the AMC 10, which is things in 10th grade or lower. So as you all know, this is in 8th grade too. So this is also a 25 multiple choice question test. 75 minutes to complete this test. I don't think it's going to be questions. I watched the video test. Some of the questions I always gave you the work. So it's just unreal to watch it. I'm very proud of it. But on this AMC 10, 1,876 schools nationally, 30,000 students total. Not as many as AMC, but still 30,000 students. You got 126 and I got 150. Top 2.5% in the nation. That's pretty cool considering he's an 8th grader and a lot of those students are in 10th grade. So that's very, very, very basic and very proud.
Yay.
Last test, I promise. Now, this one is CNL, Continental Math. This one has 4 sections, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. So our 6th graders take the 6th grade test. Our 7th graders that are not in our accelerated program take the 7th grade test. The 7th graders that are coming taking algebra, and the 8th graders are taking algebra, the 8th grade test. And then the geometry
And our last presentation, we'd like to call the Cedar Drive Band Director, Mr. Jeff Brown.
So, two things that I just want to point out. Just congratulations to everyone. You make me so proud. Every year I feel like I'm a very proud parent of, 1,000 kids. And nights like tonight remind me, how proud I am and how wonderful all of you are. The other thing I learned is that the 1980s were 40 years ago, and that makes me sad. So, but that's okay, Mrs. Hubbard. That's okay. So, moving on in our program, I have the distinct honor this evening of recognizing 6 amazing educators, 6 amazing people who dedicate their time, their talents, their passion for their profession, and all that they are. I thank them for each and every day. One of the things that we do as an annual tradition is, as a district, we participate in the New Jersey Governor's Teacher of the Year and Educational Services Professionals of the Year program. And it is my distinct honor this evening to not just recognize them, but to really celebrate them because they are so worthy of it. This year's Cedar Drive Teacher of the Year is Ms. Jessica Grappaldi. So Mrs. Grappaldi is not only a master teacher, she is a forever champion and cheerleader of all students. She is co-advisor this year of the Student Council with Mrs. Rose, but she's been a cheerleader and a co-advisor and been cheering students along for a really long time. And a really long time, I know. The 1980s were 40 years ago, I know. So, but having said that, it was of no surprise to me, nor was it a shock to me, that you were selected as Cedar Drive's Teacher of the Year for 2024. So congratulations to you on behalf of the Colesic Township Board of Education. This year's Educational Services Professional of the Year for Cedar Drive Middle School is Mrs. Jacqueline Dimitri. Mrs. Dimitri is an esteemed member of the Child Study Team as a Learning Disabilities and Teachers Consultant, LDTC. Not many people know what you do. And so, but the people who do know what you do respect it at such a high level, and it's so worthy of that. You too are a true champion of our middle school students, working with families, children each and every day, and teachers to help support them within their environments. So it is absolutely no shock to me that you were selected as this year's Educational Services Professional of the Year for Cedar Drive Middle School. Conover Road Elementary School's Teacher of the Year is Mrs. Cheryl Gorman. Mrs. Gorman is also a veteran teacher who is a champion and a lifelong learner. And one of the things that I've admired her is that you are a mentor to so many new teachers. You've taken years of experience, you know how to bottle it up and share it. And you share it so graciously and with ease, and you make the profession look easy in a profession that's very challenging and difficult. You work with our third graders with ease, and we are so grateful for all that you do each and every day. Congratulations on being Conover Road Elementary School's Teacher of the Year. Conover Road Elementary School's Educational Services Professional of the Year is Dr. Christine Doran. Dr. Doran is an essential piece of our district. She is a physical therapist who is so much more than a physical therapist. You have taught us all the significance and importance of movement and learning. You were a champion and inspiration for our nationally award-winning ABLES program that we have here. And each and every day you just challenge us to be better in our classrooms for our students. And for that reason and many, many more, congratulations on being Conover Road Elementary School's Educational Services Professional of the Year. Conover Road Primary School, Ms. Stephanie Cohn-Lukowitz. Mrs. Lukowitz is a preschool teacher. And when I say that with a big smile on my face, because going back in time, I would have loved for my 5 children to have you as a preschool teacher. She teaches students and children how to love learning, sometimes receiving parents' children in the district for the very first time. You know how to communicate with parents, you know how to work with students, you know how to work as a team in our community with some of our youngest learners. And you share, you mentor, you are a team player, and you are a true credit to the profession. So for that and many reasons, congratulations on being Conover Road Primary School's Teacher of the Year. Conover Road Primary School's Educational Services Professional of the Year is Mrs. Theodora Theo Papasavis. So Mrs. Papasavis, yes, who I practiced her last name many, many times, is an instructional assistant. And for those of you who may not truly understand what an instructional assistant is, they are the person that supports a student with an IEP, with disabilities, and all students, each and every day. You are a true gift to students, to teachers, and have been for so long. Your presence here makes a difference each and every day in the life of a child and many children who have passed through your hands. So for that and many, many reasons, congratulations on being Conover Road Primary School's Educational Services Professional of the Year. Members of the Board of Education, it's my distinct honor to present to you this year's 2024 Teachers of the Year and Educational Services Professionals of the Year. Thank you.
Dr. Garabay, do you want a picture? Dr. Garabay. Do you want a picture?
Oh, I'll go on later. I'll do a recess. Thank you. Our last recognition for this evening is someone very special, near and dear to the Colts Neck community. If I may have Chief of Police of Colts Neck Township Schools, Paul Santucci, please join me. So Chief Santucci and I have been together in my tenure as a superintendent for a really long time, right? Like the 80s. Yeah, exactly. So, but in all seriousness, one thing that I've learned throughout my time as superintendent, and I think we've spoken very openly about it, is that the relationship between the school district and the police department is essential for the success of a school district. And because of your willingness to partner with the school district, provide support, provide SLEOs in our district, we were one of the first ones to kind of jump on board and approach us. It's just been such an invaluable partnership. You can imagine when I got that call and you told me that you were retiring July 1st, I was jealous and also very, very excited for you. I can't think of a better way, though, to say thank you on behalf of the Board of Education, the students, and the staff of Colts Neck Township Schools than presenting you with this plaque that says, presented to Paul Santucci, Chief of Police, Colts Neck Township Police Department, by the Colts Neck Township Board of Education in appreciation for his exemplary dedication to the safety and welfare of the students of the Colts Neck Township Schools. Thank you, Chief Santucci, for all that you've done. We wish you the best of health and happiness in your retirement. Mrs. Ramirez, on behalf of the administration, that concludes our recognition program. And thank you to the members of the Board of Education for allowing this celebration of our students and our staff and members of our community, distinguished members of our community.
Thank you so much, Dr. Garbe. Should we do a recess now? Okay. I apologize to everyone. Just confirming with Dr. Garbe our plan. So at this time, I'd like to do about a 10-minute recess, just so that family members, students, staff, anyone that doesn't want to sit through our full meeting can step out, although we do hope that you do stick around for the rest of our meeting and enjoy the rest of the night. But if not, feel free to leave now. And then when we come back, like I said, in about 10 minutes, we'll do another roll call and hop back into our regular full agenda.
For those of you who didn't hear, we're going to be recessed for about 10 minutes, okay?
I'd like to have a look at two of you, and I'll pop on like a baby.
How are you? Good.
I want to tell you that's my freedom. I can't even describe it. Yeah.
One thing to check off. Let them worry about that.
You know what? Danny's philosophy on everything is the same parents who live
This is so nice. I'll send you a picture of the shrine I made. I'm giving it on one wall of our house.
Absolutely.
What's that?
Then emptied out.
Yeah.
Do you have water around here, Nathan?
Yeah, in the faculty.
I'm good. I have a little left. I don't want to have to go to the bathroom again. Wow. Hi, how are you? Good. Good. Good.
Teacher? Allison was
No, her husband was here.
I was looking for. I didn't see her.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Guess what? They get big. Right. Are your kids still here?
They're back there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Hiding.
They're fine.
Yeah. It was nice. Wilson took Aiden to the bathroom.
That's nice.
Quite appreciative of that.
Yay.
Because I can't see behind.
Right.
Oh my god. I had like a sip of Aiden's soda because I do like soda every once in a while, but it's like it's kind of my stomach. It's like my stomach's like, don't eat like that. It's bad for you. Drink water. H2O.
H2O. Is this on?
What's that?
It's on.
Hot mic.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody left us.
Priority seating. You're taking the priority seating. Yeah.
Calling us back to order. And you have a quorum.
Amy. Feedback from the senior citizens, they're very happy about the zero tax increase for 2024, 2025. And still, ensure a great education for our kids in the district. Our energy infrastructure project is on point, online. Proceeding to be putting the solar panels on, I believe in the first week or second week of July. So everything's going according to plan with our $8 million project.
Hello. All right. Nothing to really report. But I just want to say, doing a really good job with the social media, putting up all the videos and everything like that. I think it's a great idea, and everybody gets to see all the great work that our kids are doing. Thank you.
Yep, nothing new to report.
We do have some negotiations that are forthcoming, so we are going to need to schedule a meeting to review our annual contracts.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, and that'll be done before the 26th. That will be done before June 26th.
Yes, I just want to, I'm going to try to keep it brief and positive since we had such a nice meeting honoring the student and staff tonight. But since our last meeting, I just wanted to cover, Governor Murphy did sign the Oprah Reform Act. This bill will severely impact the public's ability to request public records, which entail will limit transparency pertaining to all public officials. So, once again, that's very important for the public to be able to, contact and, get all the Public Records Act and, be transparent. So once again, sorry to report that was signed into law. Briefly touching on the Freedom to Read Act, the Education Committee basically met on June 6th, where they voted yes to move it out of committee. The good news is it went from a 26-page bill replaced by a 9-page bill. There have been some revisions. The state may now, this isn't passed, of course, but the state may now require local boards of educations to set up committees to review and possibly recommend removing or placing books, removing books that are inappropriate for grade school level as well as high schools. However, neither the committee nor the librarians decide what is appropriate or not appropriate. So the power will hopefully fall back on the local school boards. The last thing is, I am happy to report that I did speak briefly with Dr. Garibay, and there are 20 books that, have been hot button books around New Jersey. I'm proud to report that they're not in this district, and we're going to strive to keep it that way. So I appreciate the time that you did to research that and, make sure that we're not, passing obscene material to our students. Thank you.
Just a comment? I would like to thank Ms. Volpe for providing a more objective presentation of the materials, the bills going through the state this evening. So thank you for that.
No. All right. No, we're good. Okay, sorry. All right. Moving along, ad hoc committee for the arts, sports, and extracurricular activities. Vinny?
The past week there was about 3 different concerts that went on. I know June 11th was the Subs and Sounds Spring Band concert from the 6th to 8th grade bands and the jazz ensemble, and the 5th grade band made an appearance as well too. And that holds a special place in my heart because I was in the school band in elementary school up through 9th grade as well. And I think the marching band made an appearance as well too, high school marching band, I think. And I was in the high school marching band in my 9th grade as well. And so I'm glad to see that's all happening. And I saw the videos online, and it looked like it was a really fun concert. And June 4th was the primary school choir concert, which looks like it was a fun concert as well too. And the little kids did a great job. And the American Youth Voices Choir at the Prudential Center, I believe on June 6th, looked like it went great, packed crowd, and looks like everybody really enjoyed themselves. So congratulations to everybody who attended, and I'm very proud of you all. Thank you, guys.
Great. Thanks, Vinny. Any questions or comments for Vinny?
Yes, Allison.
Allison, you're go right ahead.
I'm on fire tonight, guys, don't you think?
I would just like to. But I like it.
I would just like to thank Mr. Brown, Mrs. Hubbard, and our art teachers in the primary and middle and elementary school. I went to the art show. I saw Mr. Orico there. We have some wonderful, creative children making wonderful art and music, and it was wonderful to be able to celebrate with all of you. I'm so glad that I had the opportunity to attend these events and really see the That's okay. And see the creativity and really just see these kids flourish. So it was a real wonderful opportunity.
All right, great.
I just want to add one more thing. I'm sorry I can't attend a lot of these things. I have 2 young kids, and my son is 9 years old in hockey. And for those of you who don't know, hockey is a really big commitment, so it takes up a lot of time. But when I can, I definitely will be there when I can.
All right, great. Thanks, guys. All right, moving on to board member liaisons. Brenna, Parent Advisory Committee, what do you got?
I got nothing.
good.
I have nothing to report.
Fantastic. I imagine the Parent Advisory Committee is going to be taking a nice long needed break for the summer. All right, we will anxiously await the next scheduled meetings for the fall. Amy Dimes, Colts Neck PTO, you've got something.
Yeah, I always have something. PTO is wrapping up for the year. They celebrated their Volunteers of the Year at their end of the year meeting, which was very nice. A lot of the volunteers, they just step up and just do so much for them all year long, so it's nice to have that recognition. They are working on the 8th grade dance, which is this Friday. I know a lot of the kids are very excited for that. Most of the end of year activities have already wrapped up, so they're getting ready for their long winter nap.
All right. Great. Any questions or comments for Amy? No. All right. Moving along. So Colts Neck Township Committee. So unfortunately, due to the circumstances of this evening, me being up for presiding last minute, I unfortunately do not have anything to report for the Township Committee. However, I would imagine that at our next meeting, Mr. Camera will be back with us and will report on anything that perhaps we missed. So I do apologize, but I'm sure if anyone has any questions about anything for the Township Committee, feel free to reach out to the Township Committee. And Mr. Walsh, I believe you already touched on the senior citizens, so we don't need to do that. But heading over to State and County School Boards Association rep, Angelique, anything for us there?
Just briefly, they'll be nominating the president and the vice president to the state school board soon. And just to repeat that the workshop in October, they're still taking reservations for that. That's it.
All right, great. Any questions for Angelique about that? No? Okay. All right. So, moving right along, that brings us to the superintendent report.
Thank you, Mrs. Ramirez. I just want to congratulate again tonight. Thank you to the board for allowing nights like this to happen. It's so important that we recognize the success of our students, our staff, our community, because it is such a beautiful community, and to set aside nights like this really just shows how our schools are just such an important part of our community, and they're worth celebrating. And it's always, the good is the good, you know, and that tonight is one of those nights where the good is good. So thank you for that. I want to echo what a lot of the committee reports have been going. It is so busy. It feels like since the end of March, it's been PTO activity, celebration, concert, art show, all of the things. And those are also celebrations. They're culminating activities. Students work in band all year long, whether they're learning their first note on an instrument or their first note of a song. The performances that go on are just a true testament of what they're learning and what they're doing, and the competitions, you know, that learning starts when they first set foot here. And so, you know, as I said about being a proud parent, it just, not only so much proud of the students, but the teachers, because behind each part of learning is a parent supporting them and a teacher who is encouraging them and teaching them new things. And so it's really nice to see. Just want to echo the PTO volunteer luncheon was last week. That was wonderful, and I just want to sincerely thank on behalf of the district all the things that go on all year long from the PTO. Your partnership is invaluable. Your support is invaluable. We love your donations and your giving, so that's good too. But really, in all honesty, we couldn't do so many things without you. So thank you, Mrs. Kaufman and Mrs. Amato and the whole executive board and the PTO for everything that they do each and every day. I'd like to pause for a little round of applause for our PTO. And then I would just be completely remiss if I just didn't highlight, as was talking about, American Youth Voices. It's an experience that I have enjoyed attending for many, many years. And we just went back to it not too long ago. And when you have thousands of students in grades 3 through 8 who come together, they all learn the same songs. You're in the Prudential Center, and it is the best concert you have ever been to. And I saw many of our students there singing. I even said to our student representative, Emmanuel, I had a perfect view of her, and she just looked like she was having the time of her life. Christos was there. Many of our students were there, and it was just so much fun. And it again builds as part of a community. And when you hear all of the voices, it's a very, very special moment. So thank you to the board for supporting our district's involvement in American Youth Voices. And then last night, as you mentioned, Mr. Rugnetta, the band concert and last night, our Subs and Sound is just such a sweet tradition in our district. But when I say sweet, I don't want to minimize the talent that is on display in our district. From our youngest musicians in 5th grade, who are on their way transitioning into 6th grade, they're invited to play. And then to have alumni, which I also pointed out, who are invited to come back, who come back and play with us. So as members of this marching band, yes, the Holtec Marching Band was there. And in addition to that, for the last combined finale, it was, I think I have a new favorite song, which is Ain't No Mountain High Enough, which was the combined finale. Who knew? And it was spectacular. It was just like being in a professional concert. When you're watching that, for those of you who are in attendance, you don't realize that you're sitting in front of students that are 11 through 14 years of age. You really do think you're listening to older professional musicians because they're just magnificent. So I just want to give such kudos to our entire music department, Mrs. Chandler at the elementary school, but of course Mr. Brown, who does our middle school. It's a testament that students want to come back. So congratulations to all. We have the 8th grade dance this Friday, but on the 18th, we will be saying goodbye to our 8th graders who have come through our system. We will miss them, but graduation is a special event. As a reminder to board members tonight, please don't leave tonight without RSVPing, whether or not you're able to join us for graduation, okay? And with that said, this is our last meeting of the school year, of the student and staff school year. And I just wanted to thank all of our parents, and of course, most of all, our students and our staff for an outstanding 23-24 school year. It's one of the fastest school years. I think it's a blink of an eye. And for someone, this was my 27th year in public education as a public educator. I started when I was 12, by the way, Mrs. Ramirez. But just letting everyone know that just thank you to the board for the support of just another truly successful school year for the students of Colts Neck. And that concludes my superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mary Jane. All right, so we have 2 information items on the agenda for tonight. So those items are for your information. And that moves us to our comments from attending constituents on all subjects. Just a reminder, if you're going to say anything, please stand up and state your name and address for the record. All right, well then, moving along. All right, so we have action items 1 through 5. However, before we go into, oh, sorry, I have to close comments, right? Closing comments from constituents. There we go. All right. Now, before we move on to our action items 1 through 5, Mary Jane, I know you have a comment to make on that. So on number 5, so I'll hand it over to you.
Yes, part of the requirements for the American Rescue Plan, Safe Return Plan for the Colts Neck Township School District. This is part of something that we've had to do since our schools reopened post-pandemic. Section 2001 of the ARP Act requires each local education agency that receives ARP ESSER funds to develop and make publicly available on the district's website, no later than 30 days after receiving ARP ESSER funds, a plan for the safe return to in-person instruction and continuity of services for all schools. A safe return plan is required for all fund recipients, and because the Colts Neck Township Schools receives ARP funding, we are required to not only have it develop a safe return plan, but also revise it, update it periodically, approximately every 6 months. ARP funding expires September of 2024, so this will be our last update that we know of currently at this point in time for our safe return plan. Part of the requirement of our safe return plan, in addition to the being recipients of ARP ESSER funds, is to require school districts to seek public comment on the safe return plan and to take those comments into account in finalizing the safe return plan. So that being said, on tonight's agenda, attachment S1 is the revised and updated safe return plan that goes until September of 2024. And at this time, I'd like to open public comment on the safe return plan. Seeing no comment on the safe return plan, I'm going to close public comment on the safe return plan, and you may move forward as you see appropriate. Thank you.
So I need a motion to move action items 1 through 5 on the agenda. Okay. Any questions or comments? No? All right. May I please have a roll call?
Yes, on superintendent action items 1 through 5. Mrs. Denoya?
Yes.
Mrs. Dillon? Mrs. Dimes?
Yes.
Mr. Arrico? Mrs. Ramirez?
Yes.
Mr. Rignetta? Mrs. Volpe?
I'm voting yes on items 1, 2, 4, and 5, and I'm abstaining from number 3.
Thank you. Mr. Walsh? Okay, the motion carried.
All right, great. All right, I need a motion to move curriculum items 1 through 4 on the agenda.
Motion.
All right, any questions or comments for curriculum items 1 through 4? No? All right, Mr. Marasco, may I please have a roll call?
Yes, curriculum items 1 through 4. Mrs. Denoya?
Yes.
Mrs. Dillon? Mrs. Dimes?
Yes.
Mr. Arrico? Mrs. Ramirez?
Yes.
Mr. Rignetta? Mrs. Volpe?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh? Motion carried unanimously.
All right, I need a motion to move items 1 through 6 under finance.
Motion.
Second.
All right, any questions or comments about items 1 through 6 under finance? No? All right, Mr. Marasco, may I please have a roll call?
Finance items 1 through 6. Mrs. Denoya?
Yes.
Mrs. Dillon?
Yes.
Mrs. Dimes?
Yes.
Mr. Arrico? Mrs. Ramirez?
Yes.
Mr. Rignetta? Mrs. Volpe?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh? Thank you. The motion carried.
All right, and a motion to move items 1 through 20 under personnel.
Motion.
All right, any questions or comments for items 1 through 20 under personnel?
Yes, I have a question. The transportation coordinator, what district does she come from?
So our new transportation coordinator is actually coming from Jackson School District with an extensive history with managing large fleet as a bus driver. She's actually here in the audience this evening. We are very fortunate and excited once she is board approved to welcome her to our district and to our Coltsnick family.
Tough job.
And I just want to say I grew up in Jackson, so definitely a good district to get a teacher or any kind of staff from. All right, any other questions or comments? All right, Mr. Marasco, may I please have a roll call?
Yes, you may. Personnel items 1 through 20. Mrs. Denoya?
Yes.
Mrs. Dillon?
Yes.
Mrs. Dimes?
Yes.
Mr. Arrico?
Yes.
Mrs. Ramirez?
Yes.
Mr. Rignetta?
Yes, the 1 through 7, 9, 11 through 20, and 8 and 8.
Okay, thank you. Mrs. Volpe?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh? The motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so now we're going to move on to the new business work session portion of our agenda. Any new business?
Allison has her hand up.
Allison, you really are on a roll tonight. Go ahead.
Well, I would like to bring up to the board, we've made it through the school year, and congratulations to our new transportation coordinator. Rock on. Thank you. Awesome. That's one thing. But we've made it through the school year, and very early on, we had a presentation by New Jersey school boards for committee of a whole. There have been committees that have met as committees, and then there have been other committees that have not met at all. And I would like to see us create a working session in our next board meeting or in the July meeting where we figure out what we are doing and what it looks like, so that we have more structure around this, because I think we've had meetings where even board members have had confusion and are unclear about next steps and what we're doing and how we're doing this. And I think if we all get on the same page, I think it would just benefit us tremendously. So I would like to make that recommendation for our next board meeting.
Okay, great. No, I appreciate that. So being that I am sitting in today for Mr. Camera, I think it's a great recommendation. Personally, I think that it's something that we can definitely consider as a board. What I would like to do, being that John is not here tonight, is touch base with him, get something, some communication with him, being that he's the board president, out of respect, and see what his thoughts are on it. But I don't see why in July we can't have a work session meeting. Yeah, any other comments or anything? For Allison, I'd like to stay on that topic if anyone has any comments or questions for her or regarding that topic. No? Okay. All right. Is that Allison? I'm sorry, I can't see you, and this is weird. Is there any feedback for me on that? No. Okay. All right. Any other new business? No. All right. So saying that there is none, we will conclude. That concludes our new business. So at this time, we will be moving into executive session. There will be no action taken during this executive session. And just a reminder to everyone watching and also in the audience, the live stream will end when we go into executive session. Being that I am filling in tonight remotely, I am not able to participate in that executive session. So after we make the motion to move into executive session, board member Allison Denoya will be taking over and presiding over that executive session. Continuing, following the executive session, board member Allison Denoya will also be moving us back into public session. Concluding executive session, moving us back into public session, and then ending the meeting from there. So just so everyone is aware. Are there any questions or comments about that? No? All right. So a motion to move into executive session.
Motion.
All right.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Opposed? Okay. The meeting adjourned
All right.
To executive.
to executive.
Thank you.
Do you think it's gonna be very long?
I don't think so.
Because I have to leave at 4 a.m.
Oh my goodness, where are you off to?
Think more natural.
Nice.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Welcome to the district.
Congratulations.